Hello and welcome. I'm Constellation Gaming, and this is episode 5 of Decklist December. Today we're going to be taking a look at no other than Morphrost. So, Morphrost is pretty cool in the fact that uh, it's just kind of one of the only true tribal decks in the game right now, apart from Bears. Bears and Morphrost, that's kind of it. I really enjoy the tribal deck kind of gameplay. I really hope that A-Drive continues to build out a little more uh, tribal decks, but we'll get into it. So first, the biggest benefit of playing Morphrost is Morphrost Abominable. So he says Morphrost Abominable gets one attack for each Morphrost in your underworld. You can disenchant a Frost from this Morphrost in order to special cast a Morphrost that is not abominable from the underworld. So you want to get a lot of your Morphrost in the underworld to power up this big-bodied Morphrost. Uh, the way you'll do that is through consistency pieces like this Morphrost Lichen form. Uh, all of them are named Morphrost. They just have the title application, so they're technically different cards with the same first name. So, uh, Morphrost Lichen form, he says you can expend one and discard this Morphrost in order to search your deck for up to two Morphrosts that are not Lichen and add them to your hand. So easily you can see just him himself, you want to see in the first hand, uh, simply to just discard, grab, honestly, probably not your Abominable if you're playing it first turn of the game, but he can search out your Abominables more towards the mid and late game. What I would recommend grabbing is two Terrors. Now, Terror is a very strong card and was set, uh, played played around in the Frost Nexus top four list, I believe it was. They pretty much just played Big Terror where they would Nexus onto him. Uh, and that is because this Morphrost says your opponent's Alestrals get -1 attack for each Frost on this Morphrost. So essentially, even though his stat line reads as a 2/3, he is a 3/4. That is one thing that really has to be uh, doubled down on and really has to just be like thought about is the fact that his stat line reads different than his ability actually makes him function. And then the second part of his ability says when a player activates a card effect that targets one or more Morphrost, you can discard a Morphrost that which will pump up your Abominable. See, there's that synergy there between getting new stuff in the graveyard. Uh, you can discard a Morphrost in order to negate that effect and discard that card. So not only are you pumping up your A-bomb for later in the game, you are protecting your Morphrost from anything. If he PTAs it, just discard a card. Easy. Next card in here is one copy of Morphrost Bat. Kind of want to find room for a second one. Uh, it's a pretty good card, but I just didn't really have a space for a second one. This says when you discard this Morphrost Bat, you can special cast a Morphrost that is not Morphrost Bat from your underworld. So you can utilize Morphrost Terror's ability to discard this Morphrost to protect it, possibly destroy a card such as Earthquake, Laurels, whatever, protect it, your Morphrost, and summon out another one of your Morphrost. So Morphrost Bat form in this deck, or obviously it's only going to work in this deck, but playing it, I don't feel like you want to run too many of them. Uh, two is probably the max you want to run. Three is definitely not. You're never going to run three of it. Honestly, I see Morphrost as more of a toolbox deck where you just kind of you want to run two of, but that's going to be more of as Scorpion form comes along, then you're gonna want to run more two of than anything. And honestly, yeah, I think next set Morphrost will actually be pretty decent after the recent bans. Um, you got one copy of Enfrostix. The reason why I chose the one copy of Enfrostix rather than putting the Morphrost bat form in there is because more Enfrostix can just trigger itself rather than bat form being kind of reliant on having your terror form. Uh, because there's not really another way in this deck to discard your Morphrost Bat, so you don't really want it too much, but you do have your Lycan forms to be able to search it out when you do genuinely desire the bat. And Frostix can just be in your hand at any point in time, and you can use it to resummon a one-cost Frost Celestial. So that's why Frostix is there in that one slot rather than a second bat form. So that's all of the Frost Celestials we're going to play. Now we're just going to move on to kind of the support package. Not going to take too long on this because I've already went in detail about some of these cards. Astrabbit, 2 body, search top 3, best card in the game. Just no really getting around it. It kind of is the best card in the game right now. Yeah, no reason not to play it. Narpoon, 4/3, which is a pretty decent body on its own. When it's cast, search one cost Frost Celestial, so you can literally just search anything between pretty much any one of these cards that was just mentioned previously here. You can easily search and utilize Narpoon as a good consistency piece in this deck. And there are 3 copies of Eddie, because Eddie is the GOAT. Change position, plays around PTA for the most part, plays around Tsunami. You never want to shield it. Only Gorgons really affects him. So yeah, just kind of Eddie's the GOAT. Next, we're gonna move. That'll do it for all the Elestrals. So we're gonna move on to the runes now. Uh, got one copy of Resting on Your Laurels because it's one of the best removal pieces in the game, limited to one. Pretty easy to fit in, and best comeback card in the game. I personally wish that that was not limited, but I don't make the list. 2 Cryoblast. Uh, pretty good in this list just because we're natively Frost. Nobody, like, not too many Frost players are running around anymore, and a lot of the bodies that are being played are, or at least before the ban list that just happened, a lot of the bodies that are being played are 2 defense without their stadium up, so you can just pop a lot of the Illustrals that are being played with Cryoblast as a 1-cost removal spell. 1 copy of Keone. Keone can get back pretty much anything. Can get back second Terror form. Can get back a Bat form to discard. Can get back an Enfrostix. Just any one of your 1-cost Frost Celestials. It's just a little bit of a slower Enfrostix essentially. So got the 1 of EQ because removal is king. You need removal in case they just have guys that are a little bit bigger than you, which will happen until pretty much the end of the game. 2 shield to protect against the big guy strategies. Uh, yeah, with removal being limited, big guy strategies are probably going to be running rampant soon. So that's probably going to get up to 3 in place of, I don't know, possibly Keone or this Zeus here, but Zeus is also pretty good. With and yeah, sorry, got tongue-tied there. Zeus is really good in tandem with Cryoblast because Cryoblast says when an opponent's defense reaches 0, they die. So anything that isn't above 5 defense is dying to a combination of Zeus and Cryoblast. Uh, I will be honest, that was not my original thought. Kind of took that one from Trishula a little bit. It popped in my brain, but I never really threw it in a deck. Never really made it comprehensive with it. Uh, Got three Tsunami. Tsunami is just really good unless you're going up against water, nullifies his entire defense or entire battle phase. Next card, three copies of Gorgons. Gorgons is the best counter rune in the entire game, hands down. Just says no to everything. No reason not to play it. PTA, I've already talked a lot about how removal is very limited, so I'm not really going to go into that more. It's just any removal you can play, you pretty much are forced to play, which is why I think this deck can be a little stronger than some of the other ones because it can natively play Cryoblast. Uh, then three Ambrosia. Ambrosia is just really good because it keeps you able to play the game. Your life total is a lot more impactful on you actually being able to play the game in this card game versus other card games. So therefore, Ambrosia is a lot more impactful in this game than other heals in other games. That'll do it for that. I don't have a side deck. The reason being is the ban list was literally just introduced today as I'm recording this. So I don't really know what people are going to be on, so I don't really want to tell anybody what to be siding without any sort of distinction on what people might be playing, because then you're kind of wasting slots. The best kind of side deck that I might be able to come up with real quick is just like some type of Broomalinx Frost Nexus side deck where you just side into Big Terror and side out of like the Morphrost like A-bomb package, but that's kind of just base thought. It has not really gotten any testing and nobody's really been playing. Uh, nobody's really been able to play many games since the ban list is up, so yeah, I don't really feel comfortable giving a side list right now. So we're just gonna move right into the spirit deck. I am a heathen. It is unsleeved. Uh, but just gonna go with four Zaptor. Uh, playing the four because you got your rabbits, three of, so you want two, and then I like playing Zeus as a two. And I've got kind of the spare room for the spirits, so I like playing the four there just because I always represent Zeus as a two. So two for the rabbits, two for Zeus. Uh, four Tsunami between the eddies, the Narpoons, and the Tsunamis. Or I just said four Tsunamis. Oh, Jesus. Four water spirits, Leviathans. Uh, be- between the Tsunamis, eddies, and the Narpoons, you just only really need four. Uh, kind of just three for the each, or three for your Celestials, one because you're really only going to see one of the Tsunamis. And also you can, in worst case scenarios, cast Tsunamis off of one of your Celestial's bodies. So that's why you kind of really only need four of that, in my opinion. Uh, Tutor Atlas for the one of Earthquake because you need it. Uh, just to finish it off, you got 8 Frost Spirits, and that is the deck. So Morphrost is kind of a unique way to play the game, and I wanted to bring this to you even though it's the second Frost deck this week. I'm really a enjoyer of Frost, so probably in a few days I'll bring another Frost Nexus deck list more than likely. Uh, but if you enjoyed the video, please give me a like, give me a subscribe, and thank you, and I will see you tomorrow for another deck list.